The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its leaders, members, and contributors. Every week, your host, CEO of Two Small Men with Big Hearts, Stu Starkey, shines the light on a community to raise awareness of their leaders, members, and contributors. So together, we can create positive impact, inspire change, and help those in need of assistance at a grassroots level. Welcome to the community of Big Hearts.
Welcome back to the community of Big Hearts. This week we are here with Angela Klassen from Bear Clan. We're getting back to our roots. We've been trying to get a representative from Bear Clan on for a little while because we believe they are as impactful as it gets. So without me trying to describe what Bear Clan does, I'm going to turn it over to Angela here. And can you give us like a 2-minute highlight reel of what Bear Clan is and what it does?
So Bear Clan started back in 1992. That was the first edition of Bear Clan. And it went into hibernation in 1995 and reemerged in 2014 at the death of Tina Fontaine. Our first patrol didn't start till July 13th. Of 2015.
Okay.
And it's been going strong ever since.
So you guys started in Winnipeg, patrolling the neighborhoods to... what's the purpose of the patrols?
Well, the purpose of the patrols is to make the community feel safer. So what we do is we go out during prime hours, which is between 6 and 9, and we look after the most vulnerable people in our community. So this is being anybody that it can be someone that's homeless, it could be someone that's fallen on hard times, just your everyday average person that's walking out on the street. If we see something that doesn't look right to us, we'll approach people and ask them, are you okay? Do you need assistance? And we also do sharps retrieval.
Sorry, what retrieval?
Sharp retrieval. So with the meth crisis the way it is right now, we're picking up on an average patrol, we pick up about 300 to 400 needles a night.
A night?
A night.
In your chapter?
In my chapter. In my chapter last night, we picked up 340 needles.
Holy smokes.
In a 3-hour period.
So let me back up here for a second. So what's your role within Bear Clan?
My role within Bear Clan is I'm a coordinator for the West Broadway chapter. And I've been doing that since October of 2019.
2019. And so what do you coordinate?
I coordinate patrols. I help coordinate searches, donation drives, just anything that needs specific attention is what I get involved in and try to, make sure our team is working with police, fire department, just we have good working relationships with these services in Winnipeg.
Right. So as I understand, there's 5 chapters in Winnipeg for Bear Clan.
Yeah. And
you're coordinating the West Broadway chapter?
I'm coordinating the West Broadway chapter. So there's 5 chapters, which is Winnipeg's North End, which is the original chapter that started. Then it went to West End, West Broadway, North Point Douglas, and Elmwood.
Okay. And how many volunteers are you coordinating for these patrols for your chapter?
For my chapter has probably about 250 volunteers that are out on a regular basis. So whether it be once a week, twice a week, once a month, it's all up to the volunteer. And we accept all volunteers for whatever time they can give us.
And are you guys out every night?
We're out in West Broadway, we're out 4 nights a week.
Okay.
We're hoping to move it up to 5 nights a week by the end of the year. But the West End chapter is 5 nights a week. North End is 5 nights a week. Elmwood has 2 nights a week. North Point Douglas has 2 nights a week. So we're pretty busy.
Sounds like you want to go from 4 to 5 nights a week. What's the constraint? How come? What's holding you back from going to 5 nights a week?
Well, right now it's just with everything that has been going on, and with COVID, we've had to adapt. We've had to change our procedures and our protocols a little bit, just to make sure that our volunteers and our community members are still being safe.
Right. So I'm going to back up a little bit again. I knew a little tiny bit about your story, and I'm wondering if we can dive into that a little bit, and how you got involved with Bear Clan.
So I'm a recovering addict.
Mm-hmm.
I've been clean 21 years now, and my involvement with Bear Clan started in 2018. 2017, sorry. I contacted James Fable in starting my own patrol group in West Broadway. And the gentleman that I was working with to start the patrol in West Broadway had an underlying agenda, and it was something I didn't want to be involved with. So I stopped doing the patrols that I had started in the area. And then when James decided that they were going to start a chapter in West Broadway, I was thrilled. And he called me and asked me if I would be the lead female for the West Broadway chapter. So I was an unpaid volunteer from 2019 up until last year.
Mm-hmm. And this is a really important question for us, because what we're trying to do on this show is to, when I said getting back to our roots, what we really want to be doing is inspiring others to be giving back to their community. So the question is, in 2017, when you made that call to James, what inspired you to do that?
I saw the need in the community, and I wanted my grandchildren to be safe. I wanted my neighbors to be safe. And I wanted to do something to help my community instead of just saying, oh, well, this should be done, and not take action. But if you're going to talk the talk, you better walk the walk.
Awesome. And how did that transpire after you made that call and you said you wanted to participate? Again, with the perspective that we're trying to inspire others to do this similar thing that you did. You dove in head first, and you're making, by the sounds of it, a huge impact. I want to explore that moment where you decided to do it, and then after, what happened after you made that call? How did you feel?
Well, it was a big discussion between myself and my husband. We talked about it quite a bit, and we discussed it, and he said, if this is something that you feel in your heart that you really need to do, I stand behind you 100%. So that's where I started.
Yeah.
And I started in, my first walk was February 15th on our anniversary. And he was a little upset about it. It was our anniversary and it was going out for a Bear Clan walk that day, but he got over it. And I've been walking ever since. It's an addiction, actually. It's a better addiction, actually, because it makes you feel so good.
Right. So your your inspiration to help make the community safe has ended up, not just given to the community, but given to yourself as well?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Bear Clan has done so much for my family. My husband was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer July of last year, and he passed away August.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And my Bear Clan family stepped right up. They carried me right through, and I don't know what I would have done without them. They've been a really big support system for me.
Yeah, what we've learned through this show is that when you try and help your community, you're not just strengthening your community, you're strengthening your ties to it, and you're building that resilience, as Ryan talks about a lot. So you were able to handle something, momentous, and that's a story we wanted to hear. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Well, it's part of who I am now. Bear Clan is my job 24/7, regardless of whether I'm wearing the Bear Clan patch or not. My kids sometimes don't even want to hang with me because I'm always looking at the ground for needles and always trying to help somebody. So.
You said that there's, over 300 needles a night that you're picking up. Are there any other stats that you may not be shocked by anymore, but our listeners should hear the impact that you guys are having?
Well, last year we picked up over 145,000 needles. And we took off the streets like hundreds of weapons.
Wow.
Whether it be knives, we've taken zip guns off the street, which is this year was a first for us.
A zip gun?
Zip guns. They're just homemade makeshift guns.
I see.
And very dangerous.
How does that occur? How do you end up taking a zip gun?
A lot of times it's community members bring them to us. A lot of the weapons we find are makeshift weapons. So they've taken a piece of metal and filed it down so that it can be used as a weapon. Knives, axes. Like, we've pulled a lot of really dangerous items off the street.
Wow. What's the off the top of your head, what's the most impactful story that you can share?
There's several of them, but the one that sticks in my mind is we were out on patrol in West Broadway, and we came across a young man who really, he was in the midst of addiction, and he was just feeling really alone, and he was telling me how he had tried to call his mother, and his mother hung up on him, didn't want anything to do with him. And so we just gave him a bag lunch, some granola bars, a juice box, and he was so touched he started crying. And I'm a hugger, so I gave the young man a hug, and said, don't give up. There's somebody that does care about you. I care about you. And 2 days, and he walked away, just went on his way. 2 days later, I ran into him again, and he goes, I just want to thank you. And I'm like, for what, the sandwich I gave you the other day? He goes, no, I was on my way to the Maryland Bridge to jump, and you saved my life. It's one of the most impactful stories I have. And it tugs at your heart. It really does.
Yeah, you hit my heart. We'll edit some of that out. But we want to impact our communities in a positive way, and I can't think of a more positive way to impact your community than that. Thank you for doing what you do. How can the listeners, how can we help Bear Clan in your chapter in any way, including helping you get to that 5th night a week?
Well, we could always use more volunteers. So the volunteer process is you come out to any of the Bear Clan chapters in Winnipeg or anywhere in Manitoba. We're right across Canada just about right now. And you just fill out an application. And then you learn on the streets. We'll teach you everything about safe, sharp retrieval, how we engage with community members, networking with our community partners such as Art City and West Broadway Neighborhood Center, West Broadway Community Organization. These are some of the networking that we've done in our area. So we teach you about that, and then we're always looking for donations, water, granola bars, anything individually wrapped.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely spread the word.
And we do also monetary donations go a really long way. So you can find that on our Bear Clan page.
Awesome. Well, one of the things that we're particularly like to emphasize is giving that's leveraged. And sounds like you guys bootstrap your impact in the community and really make every dollar go as far as it possibly can.
We try. We try to make it go as far as we can.
Well, one of the things that Two Small Men is really proud of, early on when we started this podcast, we ended up making a loan to an organization that was going to put AED devices into community centers to help with heart failures.
Mm-hmm.
And in exchange for that loan, it was interest-free, but we said what their business did also was teach psychological first aid courses. And we said, we want you to teach those psych aid first aid courses to Bear Clan at no charge to them. So that's something that I believe has been going on for the last 12 months or so. So hopefully that's helped a bit.
Yeah, it does help us in the community. It really does. Any training that we can get, whether it be psychological first aid, nonviolent intervention training, it helps us when we're out on the streets speaking with community members in crisis.
I told you before we started I wanted to end on a question that I'm going to start asking all of our guests. And I want to know, what is the best and most impactful act of kindness that you've seen out while patrolling the streets?
I think it's when we came across a woman in distress, and one of our members gave the lady her jacket to wear. It was pouring rain. Gave the lady her jacket to wear, and we sat and we waited until police arrived to assist in making sure she was safe. So I think, just little tiny things like showing someone you care. Just that little showing someone you care makes the world of difference.
Thank you so much again for sharing your story and coming with us on the podcast. That was so impactful to me personally, and I'm sure it will be to our listeners. Thanks, Angela.
You're welcome.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Community of Big Hearts with Stu Starkey. If you know someone in your community who is a leader doing great things and driving change, a contributor who is on a passionate mission to help their community through a nonprofit or a foundation, or a community member just doing their part to make their community a better place, please send Stu an email and let him know, and maybe they can be featured on a future episode of the Community of Big Hearts. You can email Stu at twosmallmen.com. Again, that's Stu at twosmallmen.com. Thank you again for listening.